Holy moly. Like, holy, what the hell, man. I'm still trying to calm down from the previous game, and it's just impossible. And I have to do this game, and the fact is, you know, this game is freaking important too, because if Gigabyte Marines win this game, then all of a sudden Fnatic is out. Everything that they worked so hard for in the previous game is just gone. So this game is pretty hyped too. Longzhu. Do they care? You know? Longzhu giveth. Longzhu taketh. Longzhu are deciding the fates of many men today. Maybe they're going to go for a skin game. Maybe they're going to leave the 6th game for that, but there's a lot of implications here. So Longzhu could get a lot of flack for it. Hoping now that Longzhu pull out the big guns. Let's tune into the draft. It's pretty much live, like the live is a bit ahead. I needed to just upload the previous clip. Let's jump into Gigabyte Marines versus Longzhu Gaming. The last time we saw this matchup, Gigabyte Marines tried a cheese. A cheese that would be like, if you brought this cheese to France, they would be like, sacre bleu, what is this? You know, they would be like, goodbye with this cheese, you know. This cheese would definitely get you flamed. Gigabyte Marines are dropping a Twitch ban and a Tristana ban. Interesting approach. Longzhu are doing the smart thing of banning the champion they have no clue about. No one really does except Archie, this Urgot pick. Let's see now. Gigabyte Marines have kind of went in different direction when it comes to picks. So let's see if they're going to first pick the Xayah here, because that is going to be the approach that I hope they go for. And if the Xayah isn't picked, I think they can just go for the classic Lulu and then just wait with their 80 carry pick for later and play the Ashe again, because that worked out fine for them. Kayn is banned, and I'm hoping, please, Gigabyte Marines just first pick the Xayah here, because it's so high value now. Thank you very much. Boom. So the trade-off now for Longzhu is that they will pick Jarvan. They will have this composition that is heavy engage, and maybe they will match up the Varus together with the Rakan if they want to take that away. But the response is very easy for Gigabyte Marines. You know, if you see this on the enemy team, you just pick Janna, you have the disengage, and you're going to be happy. So I'm sincerely hoping that Gigabyte Marines don't pick the Lulu like they've always done in this tournament. Just make sure that you pick up the Janna here, that you have the disengage. I also like the Galio takeaway, and then you could argue that maybe Longzhu should have just went Jarvan Galio straight up, because Galio as a champion is very great. You can put him both in mid and top. And with the top laners that people have been blind picking, Galio is very good in this tournament. So you could argue that maybe Rakan wasn't the wisest choice here. No Janna from Gigabyte Marines. I thought Janna would be like the no-brainer pickup here, because you need disengage against this heavy engaged team. And right off the bat, you know, with picking Syndra, you instantly reveal where Galio is going to go. And that is going to be a massive issue too. So Longzhu have the possibility here of putting Jarvan against Galio, having a great matchup, and then just picking like Sejuani for the jungle or something else. Big thing here for Gigabyte Marines is that you know, they have the Galio, and Longzhu know from before they banned the Nocturne. What other junglers can work well with Galio? That's the only thing that Longzhu need to think about. So they're probably going to ban Kha'Zix second, I'm hoping here for Longzhu, because what other jungler is going to make use of the Galio ultimate? All of a sudden you are in a hard predicament, and Longzhu have a very powerful composition already, a composition that spikes in early, and I feel like there's going to be a lack of synergy here for Gigabyte Marines with Syndra and Galio in the mix. I think Gigabyte Marines should have, like they could have went for the Janna, they could have hit the card where Galio goes, and I think that could have been very positive for them. Graves is the ban, so I think Gigabyte Marines are just going to be happy with playing Kha'Zix. I don't know if Graves is the best ban to do here. I think maybe they got baited by Levi hovering it. I think Kha'Zix is the pick that he wants to play when he has Galio on his team. Let's see what happens. Longzhu now can pick freely into the Syndra. Talia is banned from the blue side, so it's LeBlanc. There's a lot of options here. Maybe a Ryze. Ryze is the pickup. Hashtag predicted. Let's continue on. that was this prediction is not a big deal, man. I'm just, this was completely a troll. It was not serious. For first-time viewers that don't know me. Whoa, I guess that's a champion too. If you don't like Kazakhs, but Levi, you like Kazakhs, brother. I'm a bigger fan of Kazakhs than I am of Rengar. Whoa, holy. They're just ahead of their time. The Chrono Keeper, Zilean. So the engage is juicy, right? The speed up on Rengar into the Galio ultimate. How is the lane phase going to be? I don't know, man. I feel like it's a massive problem here for Zilean, that the enemy team has so much engage that they can direct at the Santa Claus lookalike mother brother. Interesting composition though, and Zilean ultimate can be very powerful, right? In cases where the enemy team heavy engages on someone and Zilean can keep a safe distance, because he doesn't necessarily need to commit so hard. He doesn't need to throw bombs, he doesn't need to do all this jazz, right? So Zilean can still, like his ultimate, can be game changing. So I'm excited about this pick. I think lane matchup wise, they're gonna have a hard time. I would have personally preferred a Janna. Longzhu with a very, very well-rounded composition, right? They have the engage that is necessary to supply the fact that they maybe don't scale so hard in the later stages of the game. Against the enemy team, I feel like they outscale though. I can say that honestly, that their team is outscaled by a lot of the team compositions we've seen at Worlds, but in this particular matchups, it's not fair to say that, because I think Longzhu's draft is just so good. It's just so good. Like, they have good matchup in mid, better matchup in bottom, Gragas as well. Together with Jarvan, they have many tools to engage, they have many tools to re-engage, they can disengage, they can play the split push, they have people to put in mid. I feel like they have so many options, and that can fair and square be said for Longzhu. Can you guys hear the sound? Like, what is this sound, man? I don't know. It's crazy how loud the sound is. I don't know what it is. Whatever. We're in it now. We're in it. Longzhu. I was talking about how good their composition is. It's very well rounded. Gigabyte Marines, they have some things that are on fleek, right? They can pop off and maybe throw some curveballs towards the enemy. They have this kind of sick synergy engage that they can pull off from safe distances, and Zilean can maybe be very strong in those engage scenarios. So the thing here with Longzhu, why they invade now a second time against Gigabyte Marines, is because if they go for the invade, they will get information on where the enemy is and where they start, and that is going to mean so much when it comes to making a decision about the level 1. So the flag lands and gives them vision in the bushy. Longzhu get the wards that they want, and there is no equalizing play here from Gigabyte Marines. It looks like they're just going to commit to a lane swap. They're just committing to a lane swap, and Longzhu are just trying to get the information that is necessary here. So if you take a look at the ward line that Longzhu is placing, it's about making sure that the enemy bot lane is spotted when they walk to lane. If they're not spotted, Longzhu are going to try to match the lanes. But as it stands, Longzhu are kind of too late to do that, and I don't think it's too bad for them to even be in this scenario. So looking at Longzhu, we see Kuz is doing things here at the red buff. Whoa! The flash into the Rek'Sai, I mean the Rengar into the death. And once again the game is over. Right? Game is just done. Cheese is over. Zaya's in top lane. Like, did she show yet? She shows now. Okay. Longzhu get a kill. They will most likely get the buff too. Archie does trying to do the cheese thing. Galio and Zilean in the bot lane are going to lane together. I don't know, Kevin. But Longzhu are doing the right thing, right? They're going for the invade. They're committing for the invade 100%. Going all the way. They spotted the enemy players, which is a massive mistake, right? If Gigabyte Marines want to pull off cheese things, they need to ward and need to run away as fast as possible. They need to place the wards and run away, because the moment they show for the enemy. Like everyone in Gigabyte Marines were shown by like Longzhu had vision over them. They saw them. That means that they are not in some bushes hiding in some lanes. So Longzhu can put this ward line to make sure 100% that Longzhu see where Gigabyte Marines are going to send what. So Gigabyte Marines are standing on top of a ward. They go for this play. All of a sudden the creeps go very low. Rakan is stealing a bunch of them. You can see he got 20 gold there, and Rakan got 30. I mean Rengar got 30 and Rakan got 20. So he stole 2 Raptors. You can see his 2 CS. They're glimmering. He's getting bank. He's happy. And Levi is trying to do stuff at the top side of the map, and Xayah is laning 1v1 top. Not sure what the plan is here for Gigabyte Marines. They're maintaining the lane matchups with the 2-man on bottom. Let's see what Rengar can accomplish here. I don't know if it's wrong of Cuz to give up his entire top side because Levi is coming back into the game right now. I'm not too sure either if this dive is a possibility. Khan is gonna TP, and this is deja vu. This is deja vu from the previous situation. But the dive, the TP gets cancelled, which is a massive deal. Massive deal. Rengar cancels it somehow. Holy moly. Rengar cancels the TP, comes in with his stack and just roots the mother brother under the turret, which is absolutely crazy too. Levi now with the low HP, you can see he's been taking some turret shots, and I wish the camera just showed that. Longzhu are going for this play again. The big difference here, if we pause it right now, no flash on Gorilla, no flash on Gragas. So if Gigabyte Marines, I am predicting that if they use their flashes properly here to avoid the CC, I feel like they can maybe create a scenario here that can be good for them. Barrels play to zone Gigabyte Marines from the tower. Sia is really low on HP. He's gonna try to double bomb with placing a bomb at himself, and Longzhu are just removing themselves from the situation. Archie's just gonna try to base and TP. The question is, where is he gonna TP? Is No Way going to base and try to accomplish something, or what is the plan? Interesting as well how Cuz takes the approach to just siege bottom and try to create something bottom with the TP. Definitely something that slipped my mind there, that Khan could support that with the TP. Beautiful cancel from Levi. I just don't think, like, it's so crazy how Gigabyte Marines, their strategies pan out sometimes. It just works out. Like, I can't believe that the strategy for Levi was like, yeah, I'm just gonna root Jarvan if they try to repeat the play from the last game, you know, after when Levi, well, I'm just gonna play Rengar, I'm gonna pass on the top side, and I'm going to make sure that Jarvan can TP. So for some reason Levi talks like a guy with a monocle, like the Monopoly man, but I have no idea how he sounds like, so I'm sorry if this was rude in any way. But it worked out. Levi is a genius. He cancelled the TP, was absolutely clutch, because that was a free double kill for Longzhu. And then you can kind of think about Cuz's play and how it made more sense than actually taking his topside camps. He just wanted to commit to the situation where Khan TP'd into bottom. And what are the odds? What are the freaking odds that Rengar cancels it, right? It is none. Like, it just doesn't exist. It really doesn't. I think Khan also cancelled it in time, considering that his TP cooldown is very low here. Archie didn't burn TP, and it looks like Gigabyte Marines are just continuing with the trend that they just want to put their AD and AD into the Jarvan. Interesting approach, very interesting. Galio and Zilean are laning up top. Not sure what the benefit of this is. Like, Jarvan is not gonna get like, oh, he's gonna get stumped in lane against Xayah. No, not really. So, I don't know, Kevin. What is the benefit of destroying the lane for Galio like this? Well, one benefit is, like, the main benefit we can think about is that Xayah and Zilean would most likely get smashed by Varus and Rakan in lane. So instead, like, Jarvan would also do very well against Galio, but not that hard. I feel like it would be fine, and then, you know, it would be fine the entire time. Galio would just push the waves and be fine. I don't think it would be a big deal. But, oof. I lost a lot of my energy in that Fnatic game. Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. But the The main thing here is that if you look at the CS numbers, right, then they're not that bad. Like, they're not that bad. Considering that Gigabyte Marines do have crazy lane matchups. Galio now still has flash. Let's see if Cuz predicts it somehow, but no, he doesn't. Just burns the flash from the enemy. I think if he flashed after, would have been bad anyway. He would have just potentially even died under the turret. Gigabyte Marines is just committing to this bottom play, and I think they're heavily ahead on tempo. Crazy, crazy stuff, and maybe Syndra should just commit into going bottom completely here. Khan is now back. Syndra is now back in mid lane. Big thing here is that Syndra committed to the bottom play and puts her heavily behind on tempo, and Longzhu have time now because they pushed bottom wave to commit into this play. Khan TP'd bottom, Rengar and Xayah are nowhere to be found for this play, and it pays off big time. The grenade finishes off Gorilla, but Longzhu don't care now. The main thing now is that there will be a race for the first tower. Longzhu are very low on HP, so they probably have to base. The equalizing play here for Gigabyte Marines is to just commit for bottom tower, and Longzhu, hopefully, their plan is to just go into bottom as soon as possible. Khan is making a good job here, trying to defend this as well as he can. Khan is making some moves. Noah has to flash. Syndra ultimate lands and Khan dies. Does he defend the turret long enough for his team to arrive? There's no wave now. Rakan is coming. Maybe Ryze should have ran straight instead of running into mid, because BDD could have been here right now. BDD could have been at bottom tower and they could have potentially defended it. But seems like Longzhu gave up on that thought and just gave up the bottom tower, and that puts Gigabyte Marines at a gold advantage. Crazy, crazy stuff. Crazy game. Like, I am... No chill at all. So the reason why I wasn't too big of a fan of what Syndra did is that when you walk all the way bottom, you need to just commit to that. And then your top side, so Archie and Xayah, when Syndra walks all the way bottom, Galio and Zilean need to walk into mid. They need to catch that wave that Ryze pushes in, and they need to accept the fact that when Syndra goes all the way to bottom, all the way, it means that she's going to lose mid priority 100%. Ryze pushed in the wave, and with that priority is going to make a counterplay into top side. He's going to do it in the top side because bot side was pressured from before, so there's no wave bottom. So the best play BDD can do is to support the play into top. Luckily, Longzhu already have a lot of pressure in this lane matchup because they're playing against Galio and Zilean. So in this situation, it's very important that the response from Gigabyte Marines, when Syndra commits past this line, I don't know what this triangle is about. Is it Illuminati? I think it might be Illuminati. I'm just kidding. Let's continue. Right here, when Syndra passes this line, right, like when Syndra passes this, you know, when she's in this area, it means that the next mid wave, she's not going to be in time for it. So Ryze is going to push and he's going to make the counterplay. He doesn't want to face check into here because he knows Syndra is in this area. And while Syndra's in this area, Longzhu, like Ryze, has time to pressure into top side, right? And of course, Kaz is being on the right side of the map and they're just committing to this play. So when Syndra crosses river and commits to the bottom play, Syndra wants to stay. She wants to stay and make sure that Khan can't do anything. And then they just siege the turret. You could argue that maybe that's not the correct decision, because maybe it's just too much of a waste for Syndra to just commit for the bottom tower. That is a different argument, but when you do, when you commit, it's important that your bot lane is aware of this. They are aware of the situation that the next mid-wave Ryze is going to have heavy priority. He's going to walk into top side and you need to give up this space. This space is a dead zone. This is Skull Island right here. This is Skull Island for sure. You need to just get the hell out of this area when your mid laner is committing to the bottom play and the enemy mid laner has heavy mid priority and you're completely blind in this triangular area that I just painted out on the minimap. So let's continue. Let's continue on with the game. Longzhu now in a very dominant position. They pick up the double kill. Of course, Gigabyte Marines get a respawn kill on Gorilla, and Gigabyte Marines try to get the bottom tower. I think potentially Longzhu could have defended it if Ryze went straight, Maybe they couldn't. It would have been close, I think. Doesn't matter too much. We have to look now at how the matchups are going to kind of pan out. I think the main thing is that we have the same lane matchups, the Xayah against the Jarvan, and the Galio and the Zilean in the bot lane. And I feel like Longzhu can just continue to play through mid, pressure through mid, even with Rakan. Just put Rakan through mid, and Varus is not going to be pressured at all. Like, what is Galio Zilean going to do, man? They're going to do absolutely nothing. So right now, Gigabyte Marines have a kind of non-existing bot lane with the Galio and the Zilean. This is some 2010 shit right here. This is like Season 1 stuff, where people played Singe, Soraka bot lane, Mundo, Soraka bot lane, and AD went mid. And then top lane was like AP stuff and other stuff. This was like some Season 1 shenanigans. This is like Guardsman Bob is like, you know, he's like waking up in his sleep. He's like, oh, I just had a dream about League of Legends. I've been playing Hearthstone for so long, but now something is connecting with me. The pre-Season 1 strats even. Crazy stuff. Gigabyte Marines are committing to the play top side. Rise is also close. This needs to happen fast. Good knock-up from Optimus. He just denies Gorilla Invade. Like Gorilla Invade, but Gorilla Engage is the word I'm looking for. And Gigabyte Marines had a very small window to commit to this play, and they took it. They absolutely took it. I want to take a step back because I was talking about, I don't know what I was talking about. I don't even remember anymore because I am sleep fatigued. I don't have any sleep, and I'm just excited about Worlds right now. You know, I am usually I'm 100% analyst, but right now I'm like 20% crazy fan as well. So I want to take a step back. What happened here is Longzhu got the Dretsky, while Gigabyte Marines, so Rakan is basing, Varus is catching bottom. So during this time, seems like Gragas is a bit scared here. Syndra is clearing the mid. She just straight up one-shot the wave, it looks like, which Syndra can, right? She's level 8, and if she just uses some mana, she can kill the wave really fast. She spots Rise under the turret. This means that Gigabyte Marines have a very small window to work with. So the big difference here is that Syndra is committing to the play, right? But there's no play for Rise bottom. So he can know for sure that Rise wants to counteract this play. And this is where the clutch thing comes in. So Optimus here with his Syndra is going to sneeze away the enemy right now, like, achoo, you know, has some pepper in his nose, and that was really clutch. That could have made a big difference there. And you know, especially with Gorilla and his summoner, like his keystone, if it would have procced, he would have been healthier and tankier, and the CC would have mattered, and it was really clutch. It's crazy how Gigabyte Marines are like doing these plays, and they are working out because their players are just being clutch. And Optimus, well, has been clutch in a lot of games, and so has Levi with that root on the Jarvan that just paid off. I am just shocked that some of these things are working, but maybe Gigabyte Marines are they're just aliens, you know. They're just ahead of the curve. They're just communicating in like dubstep language or something, and like, I don't know, man. They're like experimenting with DMT. I have no idea what DMT does or what it does to you, but I watch a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts, and he constantly talks about DMT and how it's a kind of crazy experience. But of course, don't take my word on it. Like, I have no idea about it. Don't hold me liable to anything. It's supposed to be some psychedelic kind of thing that I don't know. It's supposed to be like some life-altering experience. Okay, so let's reassess the game. Who has pressure? Well, Varus and Rakan are going to beat whoever they lane against. Xayah and Zilean, like, they are fine in team fights. Together, they're kind of strange. Syndra is in a good state, but BDD is running the cleanse in mid lane. And it's so hard for me to predict what Gigabyte Marines are going to just pull out of the sleeve now. Because right now Zaya is 1v2. Zillion is basing, and it seems like Galio is out-trading this Khan. Like, Khan is behind on this Jarvan. It feels like he's uncomfortable with being in these CS numbers. And Archie, like, he's happy being in these CS numbers. Like, this is where he belongs. Most of the time, this is where his CS is at. While the enemy team has 150, you know, and now he's fighting against someone at equal grounds. He's like, holy moly. I can do this stuff with Urgot, and I can also fight with a lot of low economy. This is my specialty, you know. If he was a baseball card, then you would read on the backside, you know, Archie, he plays good with low economy, and not necessarily because his team puts him in low economy situations. It's also that he's just tends to be low economy by himself, you know. Let's take a look now. You know, nothing has really happened with the Rengar ultimate. There is a lot to be desired from the Rengar Galio combo, and I feel like if right now Levi wants to create something, I think if he ganks into the bottom side where Jarvan is, I think they can actually kill him. Maybe force a flash, force the ultimates, and that would be where they could pressure. I think the main thing for Levi is to try to remain hidden, because whenever he's spotted on wards, he loses all his pressure. And that is a big deal, because Rengar thrives in situations where he's hidden, where he's being shown, where he's forced to like push waves and do this kind of stuff. Then he's really, really bad. Like, if he's showing in mid lane to try to get mid priority, that is like, Rengar hates those situations. They absolutely hate those situations big time. They just want to give it the finger, and they really, really don't like it. Let's see now as we proceed. Rengar is on the top side bush. Not a lot of information to work with. We saw like Rengar was spotted here the last time on the ward that I'm pointing. I don't want to switch to the painting thing. You just have to trust me. Like you will see it on the VOD, I hope. Galio is in bottom. Galio is maybe lining himself up to TP. What we could look for here is maybe the combination of Rengar, Galio. Hopefully Longzhu cancel this recall. I think it could be a good play. Oh, they're looking for that one shot, but the Zillion is there, brothers. Zillion is an undercover brother. He's in position. Longzhu is also all in position. So the main thing here is when Levi is committing to this situation where he's trying to get topside priority, what it does is at the same time mid lane need to give up all the space. When Rengar is showing mid lane, the 2v2 in mid lane, they don't have to be afraid of anything. Because right now Galio is missing. Let's say Rengar is not showing on this ward, then all of a sudden Syndra getting mid priority is a possibility. That's why having vision over Rengar is such a big deal. So we take a look at the situation. Ryze is getting priority through mid. Doesn't even take priority through mid. He's just walking the better path into top sides. And while they see this recalling in the bush, the ult is timed at a very good time. And even though Zillion ult comes in here, I didn't spot the fact that Ryze and Gragas were just in position to pick up this free kill. Beautifully played, and it's going to eventually lead into a turret here. Maybe even more. The flash from Zillion was just terrible. He just flashed into the Jarvan ultimate. But I don't think there was a flash that would have saved him, but at least he could have saved Flash. Imagine if Flash was a person, he was like, oh, if I'm dying, I'm taking you with me. You know, Flash could have survived there, no problem. You know, just let Flash live. He killed Flash with him. He was dead. Okay, Gigabyte Marines are trying to respond. Longzhu didn't even get the top tower. They're just rotating now and walking into mid lane. With the low health bars of Rakan and the lack of ultimates, they don't trust the fact that they can dive once again, because Galio was in fact TPing, and right now I guess the lane assignment is going to be that Galio and Zaya are playing together. Is Zillion going to go bottom and farm? Who knows? Find out next at the episode of Gigabyte Marines. Next Drake is Infernal, which is a big deal. but I feel like team fight wise, it's very hard to team fight against the roster of Longzhu. Like with the champions they have, they spike so hard at the current time, and they have a lot of damage, a lot of CC, and the mercs need to come in, the CC stoppers need to come in, the big items on AD need to come in before they can actually outperform Longzhu in a fight. Very well played there from Gorilla. The main thing here about Zilean and his problem is that he can't abuse Ardent Sensor. That sucks. So the trade that basically happened right now was that Longzhu took the Infernal Drake on bottom side in trade for the top tower. Interesting fact here that Longzhu haven't taken a single tower yet. So even though Gigabyte Marines are even in gold, there's like gold stored up in these turrets that Longzhu will eventually get. Because right now, the current state of the game, you can see that the top laners won't be that relevant. You can see that Galio is pushing up quite far, so maybe Galio can use his ultimate into mid lane or something. That could be like the potential, but both top laners don't have TP. Mid lane is, I feel like, in advantage now for Longzhu when it comes to the 2v2 in mid lane. I think Rengar is easily interruptible, and Khan with his DPS here on Archie is doing a lot of damage. Whoa. So let's take a step back. There's a lot of things to keep track of here. Rakan is basing bottom. Varus is all alone bottom. So right now, during this time, Galio is taking massive risks because he's trading up top when he doesn't need to. No one is showing bottom except Varus. So Rakan is very obviously missing here. Rakan shows up top to pick up a free kill. Varus is taking no risk catching the wave bottom. The main thing here is what is Zilean and Xayah actually doing. So they're not pushing up. It's hard for them to push up as well though, because they would have Gragas from behind. They don't know the situation where Rakan is. So something that Gorilla is doing amazingly well at this tournament, and for anyone that wants to learn, Gorilla is using Fog of War amazingly, because right now, you know, the decision for Xayah and Rakan is so awkward. Gragas is in the space, and Rakan could be all up in this area, right? And punishing Varus, usually the play you want to do is to push all the way, right? To punish the Varus that he's alone. But right now Rakan is just a big question mark. He can be anywhere. And him finding the opportunity to go top. Let's see now the decision of Prey. Let's see how he plays it out. Like he plays it out where he plays it very safe, and then Rakan is finally showing up top. Varus is taking absolutely no risk. He's rotating into mid. He's giving up bottom priority. He's just walking into mid lane, playing together with Gragas, and he's playing together with the people that have numbers. So the moment Longzhu commit on one side of the map, Varus makes an effort to leave the side of the map that they're weak on and tries to support in a situation where they are instantly grouped and always grouped. So it's a wonderful play here by Longzhu, and I think in general what they do is that they use Fog of War very well, and they also play together in every situation. I feel like that is the sentiment throughout Longzhu. I feel like you can clearly see their game plan in every role. I feel like you can figure out by looking at bot lane how they're going to play the top lane situation, and I feel like it's all in sync. It's like a rubber band that is like completely tied, and you have to like move it around, you know. It's just beautiful to see, and I think this is something that they do better than any other team in the world. Sometimes you see SKTs make massive slip-ups on how they play together and similar things, and that has been a big issue for them. Let's continue. Even gold, very interesting now. I think it's all about how Gigabyte Marine's composition will do in team fights. It's hard to predict how powerful this combo is, because there's a lot of CC on Longzhu that can kind of stop it in its tracks. So we will have to see. The Rengar ult is quite predictable, you know. It's like a big howl. and then there's like a mark top of your head. So obviously you see it. I think that is going to be a big question mark. I feel like with the issue of Rengar, it's very hard to get mid priority, and the way Rengar needs to be impactful is to gank through sides. And if anything, I just want something to happen with Rengar on the side lane. Longzhu will continue to get mid priority with their Gragas, and hopefully Longzhu can play on only 2 lanes, because if they don't, I feel like that's where Rengar shines. If the map is split up into 3 segments, I feel like Rengar can actually do things. But if Longzhu focus in and play only around 2 lanes, I think that problem is no longer existing. The main thing here about Jarvan and his itemization is that I feel like I think Rengar can just tear him apart, like 2 combinations with spells, and all of a sudden Jarvan is going to be like butter, you know, he's gonna melt, and that is like the opening for Rengar, if anything. And at the same time, Longzhu just want to play this game where they put Jarvan in the bot lane. He's going to try to play the survival tribal game, and Longzhu will just have to play like a 1-3-1 where they get priority with Gragas showing, getting vision, and trying to spot the Rengar. That is like, you know, playing against a stealth champion is like finding Waldo, you know. If when you do it, it's like it's so huge, because the main thing with these champions that can go invisible is that they can kind of pressure a lot of points at the same time. And sure, you know, if the enemy team, like if you do the same as Gorilla, like you abuse Fog of War, you can also in theory pressure the entire map at the same time. But the main thing is that there is so much value to spotting the Rengar, because in a group situation where he shows, he just loses that value where he pressures all points of the map. Longzhu are still continuing with the idea that they're playing through Rise through bottom. They are very confident in the fact that Gigabyte Marines are not going to be able to start Nashor, and they're sending Rise through bottom and Jarvan to top because they want to play into that freaking Infernal Drake. So Archie now is just getting one-shotted. Zillion ultimate is not going to heal him for much. He's going to come back with 825 HP. The ult is massive from Khan. He flashes out and does some strange thing. Ulti as a response. A lot of low health Gigabyte Marine members, but No Way is being... He's doing crazy things in this fight. And will this be Nashor? That is the question. Maybe an Infernal Drake. I think that's something to be happy about as well. Cuz is doing it right now. Seems like Gigabyte Marines are just going for the Nashor. They don't have the greatest team for it, but Archie can just TP in here and maybe tank it. He has a lot of armor. He's Ninja Tabi and Righteous Glory. A lot of things going down here. And Longzhu are giving up Nashor. They're giving up Nashor. Gigabyte Marines, if they win this game, it means that Fnatic is out of the contest of getting into that tiebreaker with that 2-4, 2-4, 2-4 scenario. If this game goes in the favor of Gigabyte Marines, Longzhu will be hated by Fnatic fans for a very long time, and that is very sad, because the only person I've interacted with on Longzhu personally, a little bit at least, is Gorilla, and he seems like a top class of a guy. He wouldn't deserve that. But the game is not over yet. We've seen Samsung winning worse games against better or like similar opposition against, I guess, like the Fenerbahce game. Absolutely crazy though. Like if we take a look at this team fight, we've been talking about the potential outcome of everything that is happening. We see this team fight. No one is touching No Way. You want to touch me? He's like, no way. You know, he's like full MC Hammer. Like if you take a look at his positioning here, he dodges all the abilities, and then he is not in the stack where Khan prefers to catch 3 people over 1 person. But No Way's position here, he doesn't use flash. He's always hitting good stuff here. And if I'm not wrong, I think he's running Fervor. Not too sure. Maybe he's not running Fervor. No Way did a lot of damage in this fight. And then Levi with his Rengar is doing a shit ton of damage as well. Like look at him one-shotting BDD. Like holy moly, what guacamole, man. Kiro Diet, he's doing good stuff. Good stuff. Like the Levi is quite fed at this point. He's 2 levels ahead. Imagine being 2 levels ahead in the current meta. Does that even exist? Crazy stuff. And now, you know, Gigabyte Marines have that Nashor. They can play that split push game, but the main difficulty behind why they couldn't play that split push game or can't play the split push game right now is that Galio doesn't have TP, so they would have to work with the Galio ultimate. I feel like if they play a 1-3-1 scenario with the final one being Rengar and being very flexible in what he does, I feel like Rengar can both gank the Galio lane and can also pressure the mid wave at the same time. And then in a case where Longzhu tries to engage on Syndra and Xayah, then Gigabyte Marines have a lot of tools here to survive. And then Rengar can come in and the Galio ult can be used. So I hope that Gigabyte Marines now play on 2 lanes. Rengar goes into Fog and then potentially ganks the Jarvan. And then he needs to also be ready for the potential engage from Longzhu. But it's very hard now for Longzhu to just commit on one target. Like, one has Cleanse, one has Xayah ultimate. Levi are going for the play on bottom side. The Cuz play that he burned Flash for doesn't do too much. Gorilla kind of wastes his ultimate completely. Nice Zilean ultimate, keeps him alive. This is absolutely crazy. Is this how Fnatic's dreams are gonna die? Is Gigabyte Marines going to take 2nd place in this group? This is absolutely crazy. What the hell is happening to this game? What is happening? Look at Longzhu right now. Look at Longzhu right now. So, Gorilla wastes Gorilla wastes his ultimate. Boom. Does absolutely nothing. The response from Optimus is to use his. Gorilla's out of the fight completely. Boom. Optimus is the target that everyone's going for, and everyone's burning their ults for this target. Varus ultimate, Jarvan ultimate, boom. Zilean ultimate, and once again, No Way is auto-attacking so many people. After the fight, No Way with his feathers and his hurricane did so much. All of these targets are so low because they took a lot of scatter damage from Xayah. Levi comes in, takes up another kill, and could this potentially mean an inhib right now? Potentially. There's no wave. The wave is coming up soon. They're taking a bit too long on this tower. I think they should take this tower and go home. That is a good situation for Gigabyte Marines. They are now 5,000 gold ahead against Longzhu. Very important to remind ourselves of the fact that Longzhu do have 2 Infernal Drakes, and that matters a shit ton. So what's the deal with Zilean? Why does he have Ardent Sensor? Does he run Stormborn Pact? Is that his play where he slows people, uses Stormborn Pact, and then like the enemy team, like you heal up from kind of what's it called? Yeah, you heal up from Stormborn Pact. Is it called Stormborn Pact? I'm just second guessing myself with the name of the keystone. Yeah, Stormborn Pact. Yeah, he has it. And then apply slow on people and stun on people, and then Ardent Sensors it up. Okay, I guess that works. Yeah, that works. That definitely works. Like I was saying earlier, how he can't buy Ardent Sensor, and that's what makes Zilean bad. But I completely forgot about Stormborn Pact and the possibility that he can do that. So I was completely wrong on that point. Yeah, I guess Zilean is quite legit right now. Like Zilean is doing a lot of work and is definitely turning out to be a very valuable pick here. Longzhu pretty much just need to look for picks, and they need to kind of use these moments they have where the enemy team don't have the cleanse, maybe they don't have the flash, and try to force these abilities before the fights happen, and then wait for their own cooldowns and then try again. Because as long as Gigabyte Marines don't have these tools to survive, then these team fights and these engages are so much more powerful and so much more useful for Longzhu. I think in situations right now, Gigabyte Marines should win when they have summoners, and Longzhu should win when they don't. So the goal for Longzhu is to force the summoners back off, disengage, and then try to recreate the situation. But that is also very difficult with the Zilean speed and the slow going on, and the heavy engage from Rengar and Galio together. But is this seriously happening? Gigabyte Marines are about to beat Longzhu to take 2nd place in the group? Holy motherless cow. I need to sleep, man. I need to sleep, because this feels like a dream to me, man. This is crazy stuff. I need to close the window because I feel like I'm catching a cold. That's why I'm like feeling. You know this feeling you get where you feel like you're about to sneeze? I've been having that for so long now. It's rough. It's really rough. Let's see the next step here. Longzhu have the Infernal Drake, which gives them a lot of gold value as well. Varus with the Frozen Mallet. Huh? Excuse me. These hours are killing me, man. These hours are killing me. I didn't sleep yet. Like, I've been up for about 22 hours. So please bear with me. Longzhu now preparing for the third Infernal Drake of the game. I don't feel like Gigabyte Marines should give this up. They have very big items on Xayah, big items on Syndra as well. They can make the combo now with Levi. That should be the goal for them. TPM from Archie. This can be big because he's tanky enough to survive this big, massive taunt. What the hell? Bomb. Double bomb lands on so many people. Infernal Drake for Gigabyte Marines. Holy moly. Did you guys see those double bombs? That was insane, dude. Khan. Holy no way. What the hell is happening, dude? Gigabyte Marines are winning. They're winning, dude. This TP was insane from Archie. Everyone just gathered around the Galio like a Christmas tree. He taunted the entire team. I think he taunted 3 people. And then the double bomb came from over the wall. Stunned everyone again. And then Longzhu were just running into this meat grinder that is Xayah. And Xayah was just killing them over and over. Look how chill they are. It's exactly the same when they beat Immortals. They were just chill and cool. And it's crazy to me that we see Gigabyte Marines playing standard at such a high level with different picks. Absolutely crazy. Because right now Gigabyte Marines, like, what is going to stop them from taking the freaking second place in this group? What is going to happen? No way. Like, Immortals need to beat Longzhu. Is that going to happen? Are we really believing in the possibility of Immortals beating Longzhu? They don't have no crazy cocktail. They don't have no Zillions. They don't have no Urgots. They don't have this god kind of thing going on for Gigabyte Marines. They don't have these insane elements to it, you know? Main thing now is that there's a lot of summoners down for Gigabyte Marines, so that opens up for Longzhu to create themselves that scenario where they just seal up the engagement very well. But I need to take a step back. I really need to take a step back. Like, look at this fight, man. This was absolutely crazy. Like, it starts off with Archie TPing in and everyone gathering around him like a Christmas tree. This is like full Gragas cosplay. So look at the taunt, the hits, and then Kobe Bryant with the double bomb hits a lot of people here. Boom. Stuns 4 people, instant cleanse from BDD. So it stuns 4 people even. The Drake is taken, and then all of a sudden, what Longzhu is doing here, whoever runs forward now is going to lose. Longzhu are committing to a fight that is not good. Khan is hitting a good EQ, but all of a sudden, the fact that Gigabyte Marines are the ones that are deflecting the commitment, Xayah is in the perfect scenario where she can just throw her feathers. And at the same time, Optimus is also in a good position to throw out good stuns. Archie can also, I think he taunted here right before he died, or right before he went into Zillion, and No Way just survives here. It's absolutely crazy. Because right now, from this position, whoever engages or continues forward is going to lose. So I think it's a very important time here for Longzhu to just disengage. Because if they walk out, there's no way that Gigabyte Marines are going to follow them. But they're just trying to rely on the fact that they have the Jarvan ultimate. Rakan gets one-shotted, and right here, perfect ultimate from No Way that makes him not get hit by the Khan damage, and him surviving, not taking that damage is what breaks and makes the team fight. No Way has been playing phenomenally. Like, he's popping off on the Xayah, and he's positioning very well, and he's just being untouched in this fight. Sure, people touch him, like he's pretty low after this one, but the idea for me is that, oof, No Way gets to do whatever he wants. And Longzhu should have disengaged here. But what does it mean? Like, Gigabyte Marines taking this win, Fnatic is out, Immortals is most likely out, and all of a sudden, you know, this group that was like so certain about this hope that is Fnatic, the hope that is Immortals, they are the ones that are going to contest for second place. Immortals coming in as a favorite. Gigabyte Marines, they are not that great, blah 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 blah. And Gigabyte Marines, holy moly, I was hyped about them when I saw how well Young Generation performed. Young Generation was a team that took a win off of Fnatic. And that is the team that is second place in this league. So this is a league that you don't joke around with. Young Generation had a very cool strategy against Fnatic. And I feel like I'm talking more and more, I'm just pronouncing things more. I just recognize that I pronounce Young Generation, Jung. Young Generation, they played the strategy with the Varus in the bot lane, and they pretty much had this insane thing going on for them that was really well drafted coming into a game against Fnatic. And it fit against Fnatic's style, playing into bot side and having like they had this caster in the mid lane that scaled very hard because Fnatic struggled to play through mid. And then it's got me thinking, like, how, if Young Generation is this impressive, like impressive in the sense that they can do a lot of good preparation and they actually are decent at the game, how good is Gigabyte Marines? Like, they impressed at MSI, have they gotten better? And Gigabyte Marines, they've shown now that they are more than just a team that can make crazy strategies. And Archie is a player that I heavily underrated. I am surprisingly impressed by Archie's performance today, because he's been playing really well. Levi on the Rengar always delivers. You know, I told him to pick Kha'Zix, but you know, who am I to judge? Archie now is a bit deep, but you know, you do you, Archie. Crazy. Archie shouldn't be there. Let's take a look. What is he doing there? So his team is rotating in towards the top side. He has no vision, so he's like a dead zone right here. Like, this space is a dead zone, no vision, and he's walking a bit too far up, especially since the enemy team has a rise. So that's very important. Like, this could be like most of the Nash wasted. Maybe Gigabyte Marines have time to break the base, which you know, sure, is fine. But Longzhu can now kind of breathe for a moment, because Galio is off the map for another minute. We also mentioned once again, you know, Gigabyte Marines heavy on those cooldowns. You know, it's Longzhu's chance to win is when Xayah flashes down and when the cleanse is down. I feel like Longzhu just need to engage, rinse and repeat, engage, try to burn cooldowns with Gigabyte Marines, and then nothing else. Khan now might be pretty dangerously deep here. Stun lands. Oh, he's dead. He's just dead. Khan with the 1-5 scoreline. Crazy stuff. Imagine playing Jarvan, laning against Xayah the entire game, and then this is the situation. Holy moly. You know, the crazy part about Gigabyte Marines and how they play is that a lot of teams have routines and how they communicate the routines, how they get to know what they need to do in game, they get to know what is going to happen next, like how they plan the game. And when you have to talk about all this whack shit that Gigabyte Marines are doing all the time, with the lane matchups, with the Zillion and the Galio, it might not be optimal. It's just the fact that it's requiring a lot of brain power to figure out what the response is. That might be like a big side, like plus effect when it comes to them playing like this. And to be honest, it solved a big problem for them as well, because Jarvan into Galio, I think it's kind of an even matchup, maybe a bit favored for Jarvan, just a little bit. And at the same time, they have Zillion Xayah, which are not good. Holy moly, is this the SKT engage? A lot of rooted people. Zillion ultimate on Xayah. Zillion ultimate was not used at all. No way is dead. No way got caught. Zillion ultimate was used very poorly. Now this time around, this time around, things were massive. You can see that the flashes are so important. Optimus flash is coming up now. No Way's flash is coming up now. Archie's flash is coming up now. Rengar's flash is coming up now. And at the same time, at the same time, beautiful engagement from Gorilla. Look at Gorilla. He gives everyone a kiss. Everyone gets taunted here. And at the same time, the Varus ult is lingering and rooting everyone up. And right there, huge damage from BDD. He finds an angle to actually DPS this guy. So Archie, let's take a step back. I feel like there's a mispositioning here from Archie. Let's take a look. Holy moly. I am... Okay. Alright, let's play it from here, and then I'm gonna use my pencil. So, turret is getting hit on. I'm going to clean this up. Boom. Turret is getting destroyed. Right there, Archie E's in. Not really necessary. And then the Rengar ult. Almost Kaz gets one-shotted there. He needs to flash out. And right now, you know, Archie gets cancelled. Archie needs to walk in this direction. He's walking in the wrong direction. I feel like he should have walked downwards. He didn't need to walk upwards, because these people wouldn't reach anyone. Like looking at Prey's position right here. Like if we pause right about here. Like right now, the people like Archie need to just walk backward, because he's not tanking damage for anyone. Like these people can't hit anyone right now, and like his team wants to kite in this direction, so he needs to follow here. He needs to walk into here and step into here and block the abilities from Rise, and then these people will try to walk into here. At the same time, Gigabyte Marines want to walk in this direction, right? Because they just lost that fight because of the huge Gragas ultimate. Like the Gragas ultimate was insanely well placed. Like it was, holy moly, this was Oktoberfest. This was crazy stuff. Let's remove this from the screen. Beautiful Gragas ultimate here. Like it's insane. Like look at that Gragas ultimate. Boom. Boom. Crazy stuff. Right there, Zaya gets rooted and Zillion ult is instantly used. Maybe Zillion thought he would die, so maybe just used it. So the Gragas ultimate just seals the deal there, and then the follow-up is very strong as well. And it's crazy how Kaz, if he, you know, we have to give credit to this juke, because Kaz right here, you know, right here, Kaz, the juke he does here is, you know, if he gets stunned there, he's just dead. Like right now, right there, if he gets stunned in this position, he just dies. He just straight up dies. He just gets one-shotted, Syndra ulted, and he just dies. And then instead of dying, he jukes the Syndra stun and gets the Gragas ultimate of the fucking year. Crazy shit. Like, where is this game going to go now? Once again, very important, you know, Gigabyte Marines didn't have their flashes now, and Optimus did use his cleanse in this team fight, but he kind of used it for nothing, I think. Did he? No, he had to use it because Varus ulted him. He had to use it. He didn't waste it. We talked about that one, and now Longs will have some time to work with. Elder Dragon is going to mean so much. This game is, woof, this group day. You know, I was hyped for Group D, but if Group D is anywhere close to this, then I'm happy, because this is, whoa! Every game all of a sudden matters so much, because Fnatic made an insane comeback, while Cody Sun just went full Wild Turtle, Woolite, whoever you want to call it, Double Lift. You know, there's a huge list of ADs that have jumped in and suicided at some point. It's all good, you know. It's all good. Same thing, Longzhu, just need to look for those engages. Gigabyte Marines, need to wait for that cleanse. And I don't know if it would be wise for Zaya to just buy QSS instead of this Hex Drinker. I know her thought process is that Rise is doing a lot of damage, but Hex Drinker is not going to save her from that. It really isn't. QSS is the problem. The only reason she took damage in that fight from Rise was because of that insane engage. And Mauve Malmortius is not going to save you from that shit. So it's all about buying Quicksilver Sash at this point, and I think it's a big mistake to not do it. Cause! Holy moly. What the... Crying out loud, man. Oh my god! Holy shit, no one's dying, but Longs is doing so much damage with his Elder Dragon. It's doing a shit ton of damage. And it's crazy that Gigabyte Marines have the balls to fight this, but they find very strong engages here. They're actually legit just engaging with Kali running in. Like, it looks buggy as all shit when he's flying in. I don't know if he's supposed to float or if it's just a bug that his animation is that he's floating. He looks like Professor Xavier or something when he's gliding in. It's a massive stun. You could argue that Syndra maybe saves them a little bit because he knocks them away so far. No way couldn't really auto attack that. Varus flashes as well. I think that's what creates the massive distance here. Like Varus flashes before the stun. That is what creates the distance, not the Syndra stun. I was really surprised. I was like, holy shit, Syndra stun knocks people away that far. But it was in fact Longzhu using 2 flashes. I think maybe just one. Varus flashed, boom, got out. BDD flashes in here on Optimus, makes sure that he's very low. Zillion just ults himself. I don't know what is up with that, man. Like, what is Zillion doing here? Look at him. He just ults. He just straight up ults himself. He just panics because there's so much shit on his screen. But I think ulting yourself is probably the worst thing you can do as Zillion. No, the worst thing you can do is like stand in your base and not do anything. But the second worst thing is probably like not ulting anyone and dying. Sure, there are worse things. But my point is that, you know, if you're going to use your ult, it's just better to use it on other targets, because that's why you're there in the first place. You're supposed to ult people. Okay. So, Elder Dragon is going to run out very soon. We see that it's the third of its duration, so it's going to be available for, what is it? Psst. Trying to do the math in my head, but I don't really care right now, you know. I am so tired in my head, but I am gaining a lot of energy here from the hype matches, so it's all good, you know. It's all good. I'm happy. I wanted to call them Giga Burritos. I was thinking in my head what I should order to eat later, and I was thinking about a burrito, and that's how I made the connection. So let's look at the things right now. No Way has flash, still on the Hex Drinker, no QSS. Like, when he doesn't have QSS in this case, it feels like it's, you know, it's scripted that they're going to lose somehow, because I feel like that's going to be the deciding factor. Longzhu just needs to look for ways to catch No Way, and hopefully he doesn't ult in time, and Zillion ulti is going to come down, but it's important then that Longzhu just stay in there. Main thing here as well is that Optimus has his cleanse, but he doesn't have his ultimate, so he's susceptible to that Javan engage. Gigabyte Marines, though, if they're looking for their own engage, is going to look quite different. Wow, Gorilla just wasted his ultimate. Prey is in the mix. Prey is low, so low, but Levi just gets melted, and Archie's ultimate gets cancelled. Archie's ultimate gets cancelled, and Levi just gets one-shotted, literally one-shotted from BDD. And that's the lack of MR, right? He's heavily relying on the shield from the Galio, but it's just not enough in this case. And Galio gets cancelled as well. I think the shield also gets removed, but I'm not completely sure. I think even with the shield, he gets one-shotted by BDD at this point. So so we have the situation. Longzhu are trying to TP back into the base. Good play here. They know that Gigabyte Marines could have turned that situation on its nose. Levi has a death timer, so maybe doing Baron now is quite risky, especially when Longzhu are not showing anywhere with the Gragas. Longzhu are playing this very carefully and very, very smart. You see they're just looking for those opportunities, and they understand how they need to win the game. With the death now of Levi, inhibitors also spawning. Longzhu are gonna get a lot of breathing room here, a lot of breathing room. No flash on No Way, no flash on Syndra. That is going to be a difficult thing now coming into the next scenario. Big question is also if like Zillion should just itemize QSS at this point. Xayah sold her Hex Drinker and just went for the tank shredding item, which is also fine, right? But I just feel like we need Mikhails or something to protect this Xayah from a chain CC chain. And you know, sure, they can also just rely on Xayah's ultimate, which I think is a fine approach too, but I don't know, man. I don't know, Kevin. Levi now has a Guardian Angel, so that's at least something to keep him a bit more healthier in those fights. But he's very AD heavy, right? So a Rise is still just one-shotting him if that's the case. Mid turret finally falls for Longzhu. And I'm going to rest my voice a bit. I have 2 more games and I need to just slow down a bit. I'm just gonna enjoy it, watch a bit, and then comment on what's happening. I don't know if Rengar should be buying more of Malmortius at this point in time. I think the armor shredding item is fine too, but is that like... I guess it's hard for Rengar to be useful at this point. I just feel like he gets easily one-shot, easily CC down, and I think that's an issue. For Rengar at least. I like the engages they did with Galio with the speed up and the walk-in, but the counter engages, like the engage with Galio is so predictable. I guess you could say the same for Rengar, right? It's very predictable, and the counter engage is very easy to do. Huge chunk of damage though. Luden's Echo proccing, and a full spell rotation there from Optimus. Optimus Prime. African. That's like my favorite part of those movies. You know, the voice of Optimus Prime. I think it's absolutely insane how cool his voice is. Like there's this guy from... I think the voice actor that does Tychus Finlay in StarCraft 2, that guy who says "It's about time," you know that guy. I think it's the same voice for Optimus Prime. You know, I think it's quite insane. Longzhu using the Baron to just push turrets. Oof, I'm sorry guys. I wish I could do this, you know, with full energy the entire time, you know. But I need to rest a bit as well, so I'm conserving energy here. So how do you imagine this game being spelled out? I find it so difficult to think about. Oh, this situation is crazy, crazy stuff. Zilean might get one-shotted. He has to ult himself. It's going to matter so much. But Khan is in bad position. He's taking a lot of damage. A lot of feathers here. A lot of feathers. If he can get his E off, it's going to be crazy. E kills Rakan. Khan is also still in the fight. He didn't die as we expected. BDD is taking a lot of damage. Prey is still alive with the GA. Holy EQ. Clutch EQ from Khan. Really, really clutch. No way. Once again, with no flash. Is this going to be enough for Longzhu to just finish the game? Is this going to be enough for Longzhu to finish the game? That is a big question here. Khan can chase. There's Ocean Drake on Varus and Rise. They're going to heal up. Arch is trying to TP back. Can Khan cancel it? Can Khan? Can't. Khan can't. Okay. Archie might be able to defend this, but there's a lot of big death timers here. 30 seconds. It looks like it's only an inhib. I think it's easy for Archie to defend this. In a scenario where Khan might have killed him, then the game might have looked differently by now. Crazy, crazy stuff, man. I can't imagine how Fnatic is feeling right now. They're like, holy moly, Longzhu, you're toying with our emotions, brother. This is going to be absolutely bonkers, man. This is going to be crazy, crazy stuff. Holy moly. I just realized, like, I'm complaining about fatigue right now. And there's a potential of a 3-way tiebreaker, so that means we're going to play 2 additional games. Holy moly, man. Crazy stuff. Okay. Holy moly. Let's analyze this team fight. So it starts off with the situation where Galio is nowhere to be found. Great counter engage here. BD uses his flash instantly, but the EQ lands. There's no instant follow-up, but Optimus is forced to flash. Varus' ultimate lands on Zilean, forces Zilean to use his ultimate on himself. He is killed, and then he's here, and no one cares about him because he ulted already, right? He's just a bearded man. You know? He's like you know, this is like Brad Pitt right here. This is Brad Pitt. This is Angelina Jolie, and this is just like a side character, you know. If you read the credits at the end of this movie, this is just side character 2. That's Zilean, you know. Right now, at least with no ultimate, sure he can maybe throw some bombs, but he's just gonna get like sneezed on by Rise. So let's take a look at the situation again. It's very impressive that Khan manages to find a way out. Khan is finally paying attention to No Way and actually peeling him away from the fight, because in a lot of these fights, No Way was doing a lot of DPS for free. So Khan manages to get himself out of the situation. It's crazy how the Galio ultimate kind of saves him in some sense. I think he flashes. I think, yeah, he flashes. It looked like Galio pushes him there, but he actually flashes. I was thinking like Galio ultimate is just a knock-up. It's not like a displacement kind of ability. So Khan flashes out of the fight before dying, which is very important. I thought in this situation right here it would be dead for sure. There's a lot of feathers here that Rakan W's into and dies. I don't think he necessarily needed to die. Rakan ultimate was only used for Zillion as well. You could argue if that's worth it or not. Levi is also fighting Cuz. It's not like it's a pretty even fight here. Cuz is going to die in the end to the whatchamacallit, to the Red Smite and the Bola strike. And then the key here is that Khan managed to survive, right? He flashed out and managed to survive. It's so clutch in this case because the EQ that No Way does here is absolutely crazy. No Way here is trading blows here with BDD, and the question here, if Archie just aimed his E on BDD instead of this right here, then maybe BDD would have just died, because at this point BDD does much more damage than the Varus that is, he has itemized for the Mallet, Wit's End, Ginsu, Hurricane. He doesn't do that much damage. Like, sure, he does damage, but not a lot of burst damage. So in this case, if Archie just E's towards BDD, BDD is going to die, No Way is going to be healthy, well, it's going to be healthier, and then BDD would have just get one-shotted, and all of a sudden No Way with a higher amount of health would have made a major difference here in this fight. And Khan comes back. Very good thing that he survived, very good thing that he flashed out, because this EQ was clutch, right? This EQ was so big, it was the deciding factor here. Well, there was a lot of things that were deciding factors in this team fight, and hopefully we picked up on all of them. So Inhib down now. Crazy stuff. I just wish I was in China right now, man. I wish I was in China. I am so sad, because I would love to just feel this. I would love to just be there and feel this. Like, I'm at home sitting here in the middle of the night all alone, and I am feeling it to the max, you know, not to the max, but I'm still feeling it a lot, and it's driving me nuts. And I can't stop thinking about the burrito I mentioned earlier, because I'm super hungry. Holy moly, I need to order some food after this. Alright, let's assess the situation. So Flash has come up, no Flash on Zillion, no summoners on Syndra. So Syndra is definitely an easy target here for Longzhu to shut down. Gigabyte Marines need to play their kiting game. The main problem here for Gigabyte Marines is that their engage has heavily fallen out of favor. Like, even though, sure, they had this thing going on with Rengar Galio, but at this point in time, if they try to pull that off, Rengar's gonna get one-shotted. Galio's gonna get one-shotted. So it's a very difficult scenario. Like, Longzhu's engage was always better, but Gigabyte Marine still had some potential with theirs. At this point of the game, that potential is completely dead. Like, that potential is completely gone, and that puts them in a very tough situation here. If we talk about this particular Elder Dragon buff, I think it comes down to trying to steal it. I think Levi needs to try to steal it, and then whoever forces the fight, I think, you know, Gigabyte Marines need to try to poke and need to use the fact that a lot of feathers can win the fight and a lot of balls can win the fight, and they just need to control space. It's all about the control of space and baiting Longzhu to engage into them. Cleanse is coming up now for Optimus, which is going to be very important. No Way has his flash as well, and the question is if No Way could optimize his build somehow. You know, he doesn't have any lifesteal in his build, and maybe lifesteal would have kept him alive in some of the scenarios. Optimus is channeling his recall. The super creeps in mid, are they going to make the difference here? Rise is TPing away with, what the hell? What the fuck? Gorilla just TPs away, and the Elder Dragon is like, Rise ults and Gorilla just stays in it, you know. He comes back now, and Gigabyte Marines, they don't know the fact that Rakan is missing in action. the dance back and forth. Both teams know that if they are the ones engaging, they're at a disadvantage here. No Way has his flash. A lot of feathers are being thrown. Khan does that without losing any HP, and Levi jumps into the situation because I'm assuming his ult is running out, because he's jumping in just to suicide. Like, look at Ryze just one-shotting him. The Rakan ult comes in, and then you know, he just get one-shotted. So this is a big deal, right? Levi just gets one-shotted. I'm not too sure how useful Rengar is at this point in the game. Zillion ultimate is still on cooldown. Archie tries to come in and lands a big Ali ultimate on a lot of people because of Rengar, so maybe it's worth it, but in the end, there's no smite here, and No Way is trying to hit it. He's trying to hit it, but Kaz is still alive and he's still healthy. Longzhu should be able to pick up the Elder Dragon here, and they also have super creeps in the enemy base. With these super creeps, I just feel like they should be able to end the game. Maybe they could TP onto the turret. Maybe they can play with these creeps. Very important here that Kaz is interrupting these recalls. And by the looks of it, it looks like Longzhu are going to be able to finish the game. Holy moly, it's crazy how much of a back and forth the scaling is sometimes. You know, you say that, you know, oh, this team scales better there, and this team is better at this point in time. And it's all about these power spikes, because I definitely felt at different scenarios in this game, I felt like one team was better, one team was stronger, and it was a crazy game. Gigabyte Marines really stopped the hearts of a lot of Fnatic fans. Holy moly. And Longzhu, they are happy, they're breathing out, because, you know, they don't want those Fnatic fans after them. You know, this was absolutely crazy. What a crazy match. Gigabyte Marines now with a 2-3 scoreline. You know, it's all about that Fnatic Gigabyte Marines match right now. And Longzhu against Immortals. You know, Immortals could also seal their fate as the second place in the group by beating Immortals. What could happen then is that if Gigabyte Marines beat Fnatic, they could tie with Immortals and we would have a tiebreaker. The main thing here is if Fnatic beat Gigabyte Marines and Immortals beat Longzhu, then all of a sudden, of course, Fnatic is out of the tournament. Crazy stuff. To reassess this game, you know, we saw that crazy lane swap shenanigans once again, and it worked out somehow. Like the Xayah into Jarvan was even on farm, and even though Longzhu got the punishment in, they punished by diving, they weren't healthy enough to stay and take first towers. And Gigabyte Marines equalized by taking first towers, and I felt like they kept Longzhu busy with their strategies. They didn't fall as hard behind as the last time, where Mordekaiser just came late to lane and they got Doven and then lost first tower. It is definitely a lot different than this time around, because Gigabyte Marines bot lane, like the Galio and the Zillion, were instantly bot lane in the beginning of the fight, and that matters so much, right? This is a big deal. And the other factor in this game is just the play that led up to the first Nashor. You know, Gigabyte Marines, in a lot of fights, No Way was just untouched. He just was completely ignored by the engage of course, Longzhu, and that was a bad situation for them. No Way was doing a lot of damage, and if we had like a damage done graph, it would be crazy through the roof. And I think No Way played very good this game. It was very impressive. And Gigabyte Marines, you know, they are looking like a potential second tier. Like, they could beat Fnatic with the level of play they're showing. And Fnatic are also being very competitive. I feel like they are inspired now after that victory that they had. And I am so excited for the upcoming games. I'm sorry for the dip in quality the further we got into this game, but I have to apologize. I need to conserve my energy, and I want to make sure that I get through all the games. And right now, you know, I feel like I could close my eyes and just fall asleep right now, you know. But I'm not gonna do that. I'll see you guys in the next game. Thank you very much. Peace.